Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Stedman. In this series of 2 videos, I'm teaching you how to do this beautiful set. In video number 1, we made the little girl's poncho, and in this video number 2, I will be teaching you how to do the hat. So here is the list of material you're gonna need to make that. This is the little girl's poncho that I did in the video before, and I will be making the hat to make the set. So I'm gonna be using the leftover yarn that I have from that poncho. So this yarn is Bernat Baby Boucle. It has 300 grams, is 97% acrylic, 3% polyester, and is bulky 5, and the color is Tangerine Dream. So I'm gonna be using this leftover. You're gonna need a row counter and tapestry needle and scissor, and the netting needle I'm gonna use, they are a 7 millimeters, and you're gonna make a pom-pom. Already I showed you in the video of the poncho how to do the pom-pom. I just use this cardboard, I wrap my yarn around, and then I cut a tail and I pass it through the side. I tie it here, cut it here and here, and I shape the pom-pom, and I already have my pom-pom. Okay, so when I did the 2 for the poncho, I did the 3rd one for this one. So if you don't see in the video of the poncho, I'm gonna leave a link in here. You're gonna see an eye, you click in there and you'll see the link. And remember, I always do all my videos in English and Spanish. I'm gonna start by wrapping my yarn on my needle. Since my needle is a little thick, it's a 7 millimeter, and the yarn is a bulky 5, I only gonna cast down from 40 to 42 stitches. So I'm gonna wrap my yarn 22 times here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. I'm gonna grab my yarn here. I'm gonna pull it out of my needle. I'm gonna fold it in half. And this is the amount of tail that I need. But always I like to grab an extra little piece of tail. That way I have enough for losing the tail at the end. It's easier when we have a little piece of tail. You're gonna do a slip knot. And that will count as the first stitch, the first cast on. And now you're gonna pass through your needle. And this is the tail in here, and this is the one attached to the ball of yarn. So I'm gonna cast on like this. I have 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna continue until I have from 40 to 42. Here I have my 42 stitches. Now I'm gonna do a little knot here with the tail. And you see my tail is long enough to make it easy to loosen later. So now that we did that, we're gonna start with row number 1. Now for row number 1, and for 6 centimeters, we're gonna do 1 net, 1 purl, 1 net, 1 purl. So in each row until we have our 6 centimeters. So I'm gonna start with a net, a purl, a net, a purl, a net. And we are working in the right side, okay, because the tail was in the front. So that's your guide. When the tail is like this, when it's in the back, that will be row number 2, okay, when we do the next one. So all the odd number are in the right side and the even number are in the wrong side. Here we finished row number 1. We're gonna start row number 2 in the wrong side. You see the tail is in the back of the needle. So when we start row number 1, we start with a net and we finish with a purl. Now we have to start with a net and finish with the purl. So that's why you had to cast on multiple of 2. So now I'm gonna start with a net, a purl, a net, a purl. You're gonna continue doing this until you have 6 centimeters. I'm gonna do mine off camera and I'll let you know how many rows. And if you finish your 6 centimeter and you finish it when you do in the right side, do one more row in the wrong side. That way we start the top of the hat from the right side. Here I finished and I did 6 rows. And because the yarn is a little thick, with 6 rows is enough for my 6 centimeters. So now in row number 7, we're gonna do a row of increase. And we're gonna start by increasing in our first stitch. So when you come here and you see in this here, the bottom stitch, you're gonna place it back into your needle, and that will be our first increase. So you're gonna purl that one, and then we're gonna start counting 4 stitches, and you're gonna purl 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now in the next one we're gonna do an increase, and we're gonna do an increase by going in the back here at this stitch, and you're gonna pass your needle through, and you're gonna cross it here in the front like that, and you're gonna increase in that stitch, but you don't wanna drop that one, and you're gonna bring your needle to the front, and in the front part of that stitch you're gonna do the next one, and that's an increase. Okay, so you're gonna count 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again you're gonna do another increase. So you go at the back of the stitch, you see, in here, you pass it through the back and bring it to the front, and you cross here like that, and you're gonna do that increase, and you still have that stitch in there. You're gonna bring your needle to the front and do the purl in the front, and now you drop that stitch. Like this you're gonna continue all the way to the end, and that's the only row of increase. I finished that row number 7 with the increases, and here at the end I did my increase, and I had 3 left over, and I did those 3 purls. Okay, so now I have 51 stitches, so I start with 42, and with those increases they are 51 now. So those 51 stitches I'm gonna work on a purl stitch back and forth until I have from 7 to 7.5 inches from here, from the beginning, before we're gonna start the decrease. Okay, so you're gonna start working purl stitch back and forth like this. So I'm gonna continue off camera, and if when I have my 7 to 7.5 inches, I will let you know how many rows I did from here. Okay, we're measuring from here, from the beginning. I finished row number 8, and for row number 9 we are on the right side, so I wanted to show you one more time. Even in the right side you're gonna purl. It's purl on the right side and purl in the wrong side. Okay, so you're gonna purl back and forth. So I'm gonna continue off camera, and I'll let you know how many rows I will do for mine. And remember, it's from 7 to 7.5 inches, always measuring from here. Okay, here I have my 7.5 centimeters, and from here, from the first one that I did here to here, 32 rows. So now we're going to start with the full row of decrease. So going to be in a purl row as well. So you're going to purl your 4 first stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2 together. Okay, and that is how you're gonna decrease in this row. So you're gonna do 4 purl and 2 together, 4 purl and 2 together, all the way to the end. I finished row number 33, and now for row number 34 we're gonna purl all the way to the end without any decrease. So just purl. And this is row 34. I finished that row, number 34. Now in 35, we're going to do another decrease. And this time, you're going to purl 3 and then 2 together. So 1, 2, and 3, and 2 together. 1, 2, and 3, and 2 together. So I will meet you here at the end of this row when we have just like 4 stitches left. I'm at the end of this row and I have 5 left, and I have to do 2 together. So I have 3 in here. And 3 that I started at the beginning, that are 6 without any decrease. So I'm gonna do 1 in here, and I'm gonna do these last 2 together. Okay. And the next row will be just a purl row. Here in row number 36, you're gonna do just a purl row all the way to the end. Here in row number 37, we're going to start with 2 together, and all this is a purl stitch, 2 separate, and 2 together, 2 separate, and 2 together all the way to the end. I finished row 37 with 2 together here. So now we're going to start row number 38, and it's in the wrong side, and we're going to do decrease in all the stitches, 2 together, 2 together, 2 together, all the way to the end. Like this. So you're going to end up with 12 to 13 stitches. Here at the end of this row, you will have 1 left, and you're going to purl that one. And you're going to turn your work around. And now you're going to work in the last row, and it's row number 39. And you're going to do 2 together all the way to the end, and you have right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you're going to end up like with 7 stitches at the end of this row. Okay, put two together, and two together. I finished that row and I end up with 7 stitches. So from here to here I measure 8.5 inches, and that's the length for a hat for a kid from 3 to 10 years old. That's the exact length of any hat that you do for that age. Okay, 8.5 inches for the length. And now you're going to cut the tail long enough for sewing, for closing the top of the hat and sewing the side of the hat. And that's what I'm going to do now once I get my tapestry needle. Now with my tapestry needle, I'm going to cast off my stitches. So you have to be very careful when you're casting off your stitches in the top of your hat, because if you lose one of the stitches, you can lose your entire project. Okay? So my 7 stitches. So I'm going to pass the yarn through. And I'm going to pass it again. I always like to pass the yarn through the top of my hats twice. That way it's nice and secure and you don't get a big hole in the top. So I'm just securing twice your hat. It's not easy to sew the hat with this yarn. It's really nice to work with, but the sewing part, you have to be careful. So now I'm going to be sewing on the purl stitches sideways like this, grabbing that purl stitch, and again going to the other purl stitch on the other side, and here I'm getting stuck. Finally I got it out. So again I'm going to the next purl stitch on the other side and I'm going sideways, and again the other side. You see, this time I'm not sewing from under and up like I usually sew my pieces. This is a better way to sew your pieces and you don't get a seam. So you see I don't have a hole in the top of the hat, and I'm going to continue sewing my project and try to have it as even as possible, and I will show you when I'm finished. Look how nice this hat looks, and the seam is here and you don't see it. It looks really, really nice. So here is the top like this. And the pom-pom is optional. For mine, I will do the pom-pom, since I already made it to match the set with a little girl's poncho. So I'm going to put the pom-pom here. I have a video on YouTube on how to make pom-poms. I'm going to leave the link in here. And also in the video of the poncho, I have made my pom-poms. So you will see it there as well. But what I did was, with my cardboard, I wrap over and over and over and over. To have a big clump in here, and I cut the yarn. It's a strand of yarn, and I pass it through here and here. I tie it really well in the back here. I cut in here and here. I remove the pom-pom, I give the shape, and that's it. It's a very easy pom-pom. So now I'm gonna put mine here off camera and I'll show you the end result. Well, here I finished my little girl's hat for the set with the poncho. And this is the amount of yarn that I have left here from the 300 gram I use for the poncho and the hat. And I have enough here for this one and the other one to do another project. So I don't have a little girl to put it on. So let me show you like this. And look how nice that looks. Well, I hope you guys like it and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this set and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman, or you can find me in my Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. Please share my videos with friends and family. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.